So after Ja's hand injury in game one, Gil, you said you didn't expect to see him back so fast. You said it was going to take a couple weeks for that hand to start feeling right. He dropped 45 in game three, hit several big shots in the fourth quarter, went 6 for 10 from three. Game four, he was solid, but I was in the building. He re-aggravated it, kind of going crazy to the cup. Looked like, and this is just me, but like they gave him some painkillers or something during the timeout. He had to hit him real quick, get the water, even just to get back out there. And his game looked different from that point. I think he was 8 for 24, 1 for 6 from three. But
taking them, would they give him Xannies, perks?
Had his
ass out there loopy.
Because I thought he was going to go to the locker room. He called out to the trainer. Trainer went, came back with something, appeared to put it in his hand. He kind of hit it real quick.
Probably like Advil or something.
Yeah, something. Something
that you got to be careful with too, because, right, like let's say you give him a muscle relaxer. That don't just relaxes the pain you're feeling, relaxes everything. So that'll throw off your whole game. So you really have to be careful on what you're taking, because it's minimizing something, but it's affecting something else.
For sure. But just overall, Ja, big picture, what has Ja shown you this series?
He's fucking tough, right? I mean, like it is your shooting hand, it is your shooting wrist, playing, performing, falling down, still injured, still hurt. That's what I said. That pain's not going to go away for a couple weeks. It'll be healed, once this season's over with, we get rid of him next game, and then he can heal that shit on his own. But, for the most part, the willingness to just to compete still.
I mean, the willingness, the mentality you got to have going through, the world talking about you having a gun and, partying too much and doing all this, still overcoming, coming back, hooping, your team is still in second and you're still playing hard. So it's just like the mental off the court is what I'm more impressed with for him coming back. Still being on top of his game, like you said, playing injured, but still being there for his team. And it's like, that's what you want to see.
So you see, like when you were balling, this is how I know how good he is. The fact that no one is talking about all that shit earlier.
Yeah.
The fact that they don't mention
it.
Yeah, because his performance on the court is so dominant that they're like, all right, we good. Fuck it.
Yeah. Right, no.
He beat us.
Yeah, I do agree with that. I do agree with that.
But I think we talked about that when it first happened. And I think you guys both said something along the lines of like, look, if you go out there and ball, that's really going to be the only thing to help people forget about that shit. Winning cures a lot. Not to say they're winning now, but dropping 45 pieces, going out there and wowing the crowd. But let's talk a little bit about something we hit on last week. When you look at Ja, especially with that hand injury, he seemed super reckless. The memes were flying last night during the game. Just the high-flying acrobatics, trying to get all that stuff at 6'3", 6'4", 180 pounds. He's putting himself in position to get injured a lot of times, with just how reckless he goes at the basket. So if you were Ja, how would you adjust your game to be mindful of your long-term health?
I never had that type of explosion. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I had the speed, so trying to slow down instead of running into shit. That you have to really, be mindful of that. But when you're talking about exploding like that, those are conversations you have to have with like a player like Derrick Rose or Westbrook. And it's not gonna change overnight. This is something he has to work on 3, 4, 5 years, and we won't see the effects of it until, 2027, something like that. This is like with Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan in his prime was jumping, doing all that, and then eventually he slowed himself down. So once the maturity kicks in of, putting more attributes to his game, post-up game, mid-range game, logo game one-on-one, it'd be easier on his body. But right now it's, taking everybody from the three-point line and trying to jump.
Yeah. Like you said, talking to guys like Derrick Rose, Russell Westbrook, Dwayne Wade. Also guys who played, above the rim a lot, coming down. So I think just talking to guys like that and also taking care of your body too. He's going to take care of his body a lot more. But that comes with, off the court too, though. The partying, the girls, the drinking, all that stuff. So you got to probably cut some of that back too, though. Because once the athleticism gone, you got to find something else.
Yep, you're right.
A whole nother type of game.
Like when you were young, it seems like you can do a lot of that stuff. Yeah. As we all get older, I had one Modelo at the game last night. I'm still feeling it right now. My 21-year-old self, would slap the shit out of me right now. But, and with Ja, he's still young. early 20s, still able to do a lot of that stuff. But as a player, how hard is it now to even adjust that lifestyle? Like we think about a guy like AI who needed to turn up to be able to perform well.
It's hard because it's new, right? It's new, it's different, right? It's fun. It makes you feel invincible. It makes you feel like you are the king, So it's one of those things where, he's gonna have to set a goal so high that goal makes him focus on it. You know what I mean? Like trying to be better than Steph. I need to get 4 championships. That right there, just the goal itself will calm you down. But if there's no goal in mind, then right now you're just living in the moment.
I think it is new, but I think it gets old though after a while. Like after year, 4 or 5, that shit gets old. Like it's the same thing. Listen, if he's talking about being the best and wanting to be on these Steph Curry levels and all these guys, these Kobe Bryants and Michael Jordan levels, then what those guys, those type of work they did, like they separated themselves. Like Kobe, I don't think Kobe drank or did anything his first 7 years, right, in the league. So it's like that's how detailed and dialed in you gotta be. Like if you want to get to that type of level, like you're gonna have to, it's gonna have to be a break where you just everybody gotta back off for a minute.
But also that is a woman involved too. Having a girl or wife at home.
Backbone.
If you don't have a girlfriend that you really care about or a wife at home that you have to, keep happy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you talk about the Kobes and the Stephs, you're talking about all guys who had girlfriends and had wives at that point in time where, they're spending time at home. It's either the gym or with the family. It's usually the guys who are single who are, that are out and about like that.
Yeah, and I think that's the message though too.
Yeah.
Like, go find a girl and relax. Chill out. Real. Like your life, it would be easier. And I get it. Like, man, trust me, it's fun. We've done it. I've done it. Like, you know what I'm saying, being out with different girls and all that. But it's like when it's time to dial in and my career would have been so much better if I had a woman. Like if I had a woman that I trusted and that I believed that had my back, my whole career would have been different. But instead I was outside a lot, just partying, and it just got old. But by the time I realized it was like, well, shit, I'm done with ball.
Yeah.
Now I got to get into something else. So, but they have a chance to now while they're younger, and it's like, how many of these Instagram girls you gonna date, you gonna fuck?
All of them.
I get it, but
I get it.
I
when
get
you
it.
single,
I know, I get it, but at a time you're gonna have to chill out.
So you talk about Ja last year, Grizzlies. He missed the last 3 games of that series last year, but I think humbled by the Warriors. This year came in talking big shit, humbled by LeBron. Should that be enough motivation for him moving forward to be like, look, this is the level we can reach when I'm not fully locked in, and after all the situations he dealt with earlier this season, now moving forward, if I can lock in, I can now get over the hump and potentially smack these dudes and get these Grizzlies to where people think that they should be able to reach.
There's a lot of talent in the West. Everyone's getting better. So even with just him locking in, he still have to have that supporting cast that's dedicated also. When you're talking about championship caliber teams, teams that know before the season, this is our year, all of them are locked in. Like that, the 96 Bulls, locked in. That Golden State team that won, 73? Locked in. You know what I mean? So as a team, it's a full team lock-in. I remember the year LeBron had won that championship, right? He came here for a championship. They were going to movies together. They was doing lunch together. They were doing dinners together. They was really focusing. I guarantee they ain't doing that now. That team when Anthony Davis and them came? Yeah.
And did you guys ever have experiences like that when you were hooping, or was kind of everybody just wasn't really fucking with each other like that?
The 96, 97 team, we was more locked in. It was more, that was the year I got hurt. We was more locked in. 06, 07.
Yeah.
What year did I say?
You said 96, 97.
I'm thinking about the Bulls.
You ain't that old.
We were locked in. We would go to dinners together. We would go to lunch. We would go to strip club together. Right, just chill.
When we did the team dinners, did the GM give you the card?
Hell no.
Back then, did they give
you the
card?
It's just me and fucking Antoine looking at each other come on, man. I know we both got money, so we gonna split it, or I get it this time, you get it next time.
Yeah, I remember my first team dinner, they gave me the card.
Oh.
The general manager gave you the card?
Yeah, he gave me the card. Yeah, John Hammond.
Nah, you couldn't give our team no shit
Yeah,
like
John Hammond was like, yo, listen, it's company card. Just make sure you guys don't go over. I remember,
you could.
I remember Drew Gooden was like, yo, give me that, young fella. Give me that.
Yeah, you couldn't give no shit like that to us.
Again, when you paying for these centers,
we would have bought the motherfucking Morris. Hey, man, give us this shit right
I
here.
say, and it was Morris too. That's all we went to.
Morris, yeah.
Agent Zero. Change the game. Put that respect on his name. Look, with the honor call for greatness, the chosen of few that carry the gift of genius, who do what they do, who possess finesse, the blessed with desire, it's true. I'ma say it loud.